Joan Lowery Nixon released A Family Apart in 1995 as the debut novel in her middle-grade Orphan Train Adventures series. Set in America during the mid-1800s, this work of historical fiction follows 6 siblings whose mother, out of desperation, sends them west through the Orphan Train program, a system that relocated children from the crowded cities of the East to homes in the developing Midwest. This first book centers on the eldest daughter whose adjustment to unfamiliar surroundings teaches her profound lessons about loyalty, gender expectations, and the far-reaching consequences of slavery. The story opens in the modern day as a group of children gather at Grandma Briley's home and beg for tales about her mother's childhood memories that begin when she was taken in as an orphan train child. The narrative soon shifts back to 1856, where readers meet the family whose fate drives the entire series. The Kellys, Irish immigrants trying to survive in New York City, are already struggling long before disaster strikes. When Mr. Kelly dies suddenly in a factory accident, his wife is left with 6 children to feed, aged from 13-year-old Frances down to little Petey, just 5. Chaos increases when 10-year-old Mike ends up in trouble for stealing, and officials fear he is on the brink of becoming a street kid, a serious threat in the eyes of the time. To keep him out of prison, authorities insist he be sent west for adoption, forcing Mrs. Kelly to consider that maybe life out there could offer all her children a chance at better futures. Frances, devastated, screams that she will never forgive her mother for breaking their family apart. Once aboard the orphan train with many other destitute or parentless youngsters, the Kelly children endure a long dreary ride toward their unknown fates. One moment of adventure occurs when 3 bandits leap onto the train and rob the passengers. Mike cleverly retrieves a stolen ring and returns it to its rightful owner, proving both his nerve and his skill. At each stop along the route, the children are inspected by local families who decide whether to take one home. Adoption, however, turns out to be a loose promise. Many households want hired help more than new family members, and the orphans face the possibility of harsh labor and cold treatment. To prevent the worst abuses, agents of the Children's Aid Society, the organization behind the trains, will visit twice a year to ensure the youngsters are fed, clean, and generally cared for. Frances quickly understands another grim truth: siblings almost never get placed together. She is terrified that she and her brothers and sisters will be scattered forever. By the time the train reaches St. Joseph, Missouri, Frances is convinced she must protect Petey at all costs. To increase the likelihood they will be chosen as a pair, she cuts her hair and assumes the identity of a boy. Under the name Frankie, she and Petey are taken in by the Busby family on a farm outside the town. Frankie's first hurdles involve adapting to the demands of farm life. She learns to milk cows, feed livestock, care for horses, and help harvest wheat. At the same time, she must constantly remember to maintain the pretense of being male, since the Busbys believe they have adopted brothers. A few close calls nearly expose her, including a moment when she innocently assists Mrs. Busby with washing dishes, startling the woman who remarks that boys rarely volunteer for women's chores. To divert suspicion, Frankie deliberately picks a fight with Elton Busby, trying to seem like a typical rough-and-tumble farm boy. The core of the Busbys' mission, however, is their work aiding freedom seekers along the Underground Railroad. They left their New England home specifically to support anti-slavery efforts in the border states. Not long after Frankie and Petey arrive, Mr. Busby is called to transport a group of enslaved people to the next safe house. Frankie drives the hay wagon that conceals them, but bounty hunters nearly overtake her during the dangerous journey. She succeeds in delivering the group safely, yet trouble remains close behind. The hunters find a dropped scarf and seize Frankie, determined to interrogate her. Fortunately, just as she is hauled back to the Busby farm, representatives from the Children's Aid Society show up for their scheduled inspection. Frankie's disguise collapses under scrutiny, revealing that she is in fact a girl. The bounty hunters, baffled that a young girl could be involved in aiding escapees, decide she must be innocent and release her. The book concludes with Frances yearning to know whether her scattered family will ever be brought back together, a question explored throughout the remaining novels in the series. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.